Good morning. Stretch, good morning. Have you had your coffee? Been on the Peloton yet? Okay.
Okay, that's ambitious for by 10 o'clock in the morning, Sandy. On a Saturday.
I try to get on and I found it to be my new way where I do my mantras. I get two things done. I guess that's my Mars and Capricorn. I really need to bulk up on productivity. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the overcast of looking, or the forecast, which, you know what?
I was going to say that's a Freudian slip, Sandy.
The forecast, which to me came out as overcast of 2022. We'll get really into it thickly for the, we got 2 hours together here. We will go through the first hour will be the all the months of 2022, and then we'll come back and spend an hour with January like Susan and I do. So let me do some introductions. I'm Sandy Rueve with Intention Beads, and I come here every month and discuss the forecast for the aspects ahead, along with.
I'm Susan Gidel, and I don't know, my screen isn't flipping around. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you look fine. I can hear you.
Okay. On my little thing, it looks like it's not moving. So, but at any rate. Okay, that's good. I'm Susan Gidel. I'm a financial astrologer here in Chicago. And like Sandy says, we get together every month to take a look at the month ahead in terms of transits and our take on them, which is sometimes the same, sometimes a little different. And at the end of every year, like we're doing today, we're going to talk about an overview for the entire next year. Which is kind of fun. I mean, I guess I kind of always do it, but it's because my birthday's in January and so close to the first of the year that to me, to get a sense of what the whole year is going to be like is really natural to do at the end of one year, at the beginning of the next. But it is fun to do. You're seeing a lot of online about 2022 forecasts coming out and stuff. And so this is ours.
Right. And it is funny because when you say to me in September, October, oh, I've got all my things together for for the next year. I'm like, whoa, then I must be way behind. So that's really a good reason why you get your calendars early. You sit down and figure out, because you've got a early January birthday.
Yeah.
So hi, everybody. Let's hear where you're from, where you're coming in from. We're going to spend a little bit of time here, just chat in the box. I want to say hi. I want to know who's here. And of course, this is our big 2-hour 2022 forecast, and we are giving some free gifts away. And so this is, if you have your raffle tickets, if you can do it in the next 5, 4, 3, 2 minutes, because then that'll be closed for raffle tickets. Everybody that has gotten our emails and that is on our registry of our email list of Intention Beads has one free raffle ticket that gets their name in the wheel for these 10 prizes that Susan and I are raffling off in this next 2 hours. You also have the opportunity to buy more raffle tickets for $1 a piece. And some of you have. And thank you for that. It makes things a little bit more exciting for just a $1 a ticket. So as they come in, Alex is adding them to the wheel of fortune, the wheel that's going to be clipping around that she found that we've been using often. And we just want to see where everybody's from. So
yeah.
Here's everybody. Okay. I'm like, why is this thing not moving? Okay.
Yeah. Because you got to open your chat, Sandy.
Just their name.
So you don't get a raffle ticket, like you're not physically having something in your email or in your hand. We have your name in the wheel, in the bowl, if you will. So, hey, Cynthia. Hey, Sylvia. Corey's here from Oregon. Cynthia, girls from Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Corey from Oregon, who is up at the crack of dawn on a Saturday. I hope you got your coffee rolling. So
Sheila's here, Judy. We look marvelous. Okay. Jane's here from Chapel Hill. And Pamela from Colorado. So thank you for being here. Shelley's here. Happy Saturday. Yeah, it started to snow a tad here this morning in Chicago. Yeah, a little. Well, it didn't stick, but it had some flurries. So,
and I just want to say that if you're on any of my email lists, I sent out this morning my favorite day. Today is my favorite day in December because we're coming up on the full moon in Gemini tonight, and it's trine Jupiter, sextile the sun. And so I think we're going to have a really fun time today, and you will all day, and really chatty because the moon's in Gemini, trine Jupiter. So lots of discussions, lots of fun. And it's my favorite day in December.
So good. Prizes and chatting for 2 hours. Yeah. Oh, we're changing this, and people can purchase throughout the entire period here until the very last prize. And Alex will add your name as we go along. So remember, everybody that got a link or got an email from us can click in and just, we have to know who you are in order to give you a ticket. So that's why you have to go through a couple little clicks so that we know that you're interested. Mm-hmm. And then you have the opportunity there to buy more. So,
and okay, let's go through the prizes real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know all of them, but from me, a copy of my book, that's one, and I'll sign it for you and send it to you. A 3-month subscription to my newsletter, that's worth $30. Oh, here, Alex has them in our little chat here. Mm-hmm. And then let's see, in Q1, a full year, we're going to start with a full year of cheat sheets that are for a full year would cost you $120. This is worth 108 if you buy them all at once. So this is $108 or $120 worth of cheat sheets.
I'm going to pause here too and let you know that this is brand new.
Yeah.
We are doing this for this new year. Some people have already purchased. Thank you. And what this is, because, we're trying to make things easier. Things need to be easier on things that we desire and love. And the fact that we have done these, they're $10 a month, and you get notified that they're prepared, they're ready, and you have to click in order to pay for it, to get it in and then you got to open another email and click. So we made it really simple and streamlined. And when you purchase the whole year ahead, which you can do at any time, but you might as well do it now so that you get January involved in this. And it's $108. You're saving $12, which is at least 1 month free, plus the $2 extra. And when we have prepared it, when we are finished with it, which is usually a week before our live monthly forecast. Sometimes it's 2 weeks. Sometimes we're really snapper on that. And sometimes it's 2 weeks, but whenever it's ready, you'll get an email that it's ready, and you just have to click once and you download it and print it. So it's way easier. So take advantage of that. But it is our very, very first thing that we are selling or giving away today.
Raffling. Yeah. And then web tickets to our webinars that we have on the second Wednesday of almost every month. Only when we think there's something really important astrologically going on. Sometimes there isn't anything that is uber important.
But this
Um,
year we do have more scheduled for
this year
2020
than last, yeah.
than we did in 2021, just
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah. Let's see. And then, oh, and the big prize at the end is a free 1 hour reading with me and Sandy. That's priced at $180. So
Some
we do
extras.
those also.
And
And
some
then
extra
you have
things.
lots of
Yeah, little
things.
stuff like this. This is the chakra bracelet set of the seven bracelets for the depicting each of the chakras. This is typically a $70 retail piece. We're offering up 2 orbit necklaces. These are $30 a piece. One is I am successful, and the other one is this is exciting. This is a Uranus piece that we are having a lot of Uranus transits. A lot of planets are hitting Uranus again in 2022. And this is a sun making a sextile to Saturn. So this is about success and ambition. The other thing we're giving away is a mala that is to improve spirit. So this is this really pretty maple kind of orange with a purple. It looks blue on TV, but it's really purple. And we'll be raffling that off as well. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we think we're all here. Do we think anybody else wants to check in and say hi? And are we doing the boom right away? Are we doing the first raffle right now? Oh, we are. So what Alex is, she said to give her a few seconds while she puts up the wheel to see who, drum roll, is the winner of the 1 year of astrology forecasts. And this is actually
they go
really
along with our monthly outlooks that we do typically on the last Saturday of the month, depending. But pretty close.
Yeah, and actually this is really fun for Susan and I to do. We put our favorite dates in here. I put in astrologically interesting dates. I also put in conflict dates that we can watch for. But dates and if you're learning astrology, this is a really, really nice little thing to purchase because you're watching these planets move. We get the degrees, we get the signs, we get the aspects, and then we each give our little comments about what to expect. Oh, we got the spin.
Look at this. This is cool.
Yeah. So who is the winner of this entire year cheat sheet that will automatically go to your email for free? Oh, whoa. Talk about exciting, Susan.
Yeah. Love it.
And the winner will pop up here.
Sheila. Yay, Sheila.
So Sheila, if you've already purchased, you'll get a refund. But this is yours for the entire year. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. So anybody
that was cool.
Go ahead if you're interested. I mean, you can continue to do the $10 a month. That is still available, but you can go ahead and click away. But thank you for that. All right. So let us begin.
And we're going to start with an overview for 2022 as a whole, and then kind of do little summaries month by month, and then do our regular kind of day-by-day stuff for January, starting at the top of the next hour. So we've got 45 minutes to get through 2022 overview.
And we just did a raffle ticket. We'll do another raffle ticket at the very end as we're wrapping up and saying goodbye. And then in between each of the quarters, we'll have that wheel going for 2 of the prizes. Mm-hmm. So that's how our plan is. And Alex is saying if you need more raffle tickets or you didn't get your one free raffle ticket, go in, where do they go? They have to go into their email that you just sent out about an hour ago? Yes. Or what?
We're in the comments.
Or, oh, they can add it to the comments?
What the hell?
Yeah.
They can, the link is in the comments.
Oh, the link is in the comments. I'm gonna get this one day. I don't know which day or which year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. All right, let's do an overall glance of the year. And we really haven't, we've been so super busy. We really haven't had a whole lot of conference and contact around this. So go
But-
through yours and I'll
But when we first got on this morning, before you all joined us, I said to Sandy, oh, I don't know, 2022 kind of sucks. And Sandy said, oh my God, the same. And so that's the premise to say 2022 looks pretty difficult in general. But I do want to tell you all that despite that, I have to remain optimistic that the planets are telling us that things will get better. And maybe not next year, but hang on. And the big one for me is that we have entered the air economy umbrella as of a year ago, when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct in Aquarius. We're making on a global basis an enormous shift in energy and priority, to where all of us value now from this Saturn-Jupiter movement. We value ideas, we value humanity, we value community, we value trying new things. The earth economy is over, where we valued things that we could touch and feel, where we valued physical stuff, where we valued things that came out of the ground. We're in a completely new ballgame, and in this air economy. And I want you to hang on to that, to know that for the rest of our lives, the values of air will become increasingly important as we go through. Now, it's a 200-year period. We're ending one that's 180. So I mean, and if we were in a ball game, like the first batter would be coming to the plate and getting the first pitch. I mean, it's so early. So I mean, to expect things to change like that, no, I don't think so. But that is the energy that the stars are telling us is here. It's not going away. And to know, just to know that that's in place, to me, I think is going to help me get through this next year, this next several years. So that's my spiel about how to still be optimistic, even though this next year could be rough.
right. And I have on my tagline, the optimistic astrologer. So I agree with you on this. I think interesting that we open the year with this Venus retrograde. This Venus retrograde, she's already in her shadow currently here right before Thanksgiving as we are in 2021. And she moves retrograde on December 19th. So as we begin January 1st, she's retrograde. And this is where she represents values, right? What does she value? What is her worth? What is worthy of valuing, right? And that we all have to do this at the opening of the year to identify what those are. Is it what we all do have? We live in the material world. We all are human beings on this planet Earth on the ground. So we do need material goods. So we do need our finances. We do need to get our shelter. We do need to have our clothes. We do need to have food. We do need these things. And we do have Venus wants to gain desirable, valuable things that now she may not want closets full of clothes. She may have wanted that in the past, but maybe the closet full of clothes that she already has works for her in new fashion. So I like the fact that we begin with this Venus retrograde, because she retrogrades only once every 19 months. She did not retrograde in 2021. She retrograded in June of 2020 was her last. So every 19 months, well, here she is. Well, when I say she didn't retrograde in 2021, here at the very end, in the last
2 weeks.
Yeah. But she doesn't Kazimi the sun until the January 8th. And then really Mars is the other, and we end the year in 2022. We'll see this as we go through, that Mars retrograde in December of 2022. We end with Mars retrograde. So the two planets that don't go retrograde very often will be retrograde in the 2022 mark. So I think that's very interesting. So, the other thing that we begin the year with is Jupiter in Pisces, then moves through very quickly through May in Pisces. And this is where he becomes ruler of. He goes into his own domicile. So this is about, compassion and peace and really a little reprieve from all the hardness that we had in 2020 and 2021. Then moves quickly into Aries, where he'll be very effective, moves back into Pisces for a little bit, that October-November period for the last 2 degrees of Pisces, which will include my sun. And then we have the eclipses. The eclipses are moving into a different axis point, and they're moving into the fixed period placements of Taurus and Scorpio. And we're going to have 2 total solar eclipses this year. And we have something to say about each of those. They're testy. I mentioned Mars, the retrograde in October till January of 2023. Then we've got interesting, because kind of to piggyback on what you said, Mercury is, of course, Mercury will be retrograding 3.5 times actually this year, because we get him at the tail end. And he has been in air. He has been in the air signs, kind of a lot like the timing of moving into the Jupiter Saturn moving into Aquarius, into the air, that 200-year cycle that Susan was mentioning at the top, that Mercury was helping that as he was retrograding in an air trigon period. Well, this year, 2022, he will be starts retrograding in air and moving back into Earth. So by the end of the year, he will be completely in his trigon of Earth retrogrades. So it's going from this air to Earth. And to me, it's about what your relationships are for the last 1.5 years with your your thinking, your new ideas, and who you're relating to, and how you relate to things or ideas, or your word. And now moves back into that material ground. Like, how do you structure it? How do you establish it? Your material gains will look different. Your material things that you value, will it go into sentimental? Will it go to the smarter things? Smartphone, smart this, smart everything. So I think that's really important to watch. And I'm going to really let you talk really about the Pluto conjunct the United States Pluto. We get 3 hits this year. It's at 27 degrees Capricorn, February, July, and December. Then Pluto starts moving away from this 27 degrees Capricorn in 2023, but gets close, kind of meaning not done yet. So I'll pass that on to you, because you really watch the USA Sibley chart more than
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Well, and at the top of my list for when I'm putting together my 2022 overview is, like last year, the transit of the year for us was the Saturn square Uranus. This year, the transit of the year is Pluto conjunct Pluto in the United States Sibley chart. Well, in any chart of the United States at 27 something Capricorn. And it is exact on February 20, July 11, and December 28. So you see how it is in effect the entire year. And what this means is that Pluto takes 248 years to go around the chart. This is the United States' first Pluto return. And Pluto is here, and we've all been feeling it. We've been watching this live and participating in it already for several years. But this year, I think, will be the peak because it's when Pluto is exactly conjunct the United States Pluto. So what we've experienced so far isn't the top in terms of peak experience or peak emotion about what's going on. That's this year. And Pluto transits are there to get rid of what is no longer needed in order to transform into something new. And once again, I just honestly don't believe that Pluto is here to destroy the United States to make it worse. I don't think that's Pluto's intent, ever. Pluto destroys in order to make it better. It helps you get rid of stuff that you just don't need anymore. And you pretty much, unless you're really conscious about it, you don't know what that is. So it feels really horrible.
It will be taken away without your permission. You're not volunteering to give up anything. You've worked hard at gaining all the things that you own or feel connected to.
Yeah.
So Pluto, and we've all in our charts at some period in our lives have had Pluto making a square to our personal planets, maybe our sun or our moon. I have had both. And I'm still here laughing and smiling and putting on lipstick and caring about me, the world, and what it is I do and connect to it. So, but now this is the first time we're getting it as a whole United States.
Yeah. And Pluto conjunct Pluto is about bringing up all the gunk and that existed when the country was founded in 1776. And for me, having watched this over the few years that has been getting stronger, for me, the gunk that is coming up that we need to address, seriously address and fix and move on are the things about slavery. They are the things about equality. The country was founded by white male property owners who thought that they were the only ones capable of making any decisions for the country. No one else mattered, not women, not Blacks, not slaves, no one. We have to fix that. And, this is my opinion.
Well, this is my opinion. This is your opinion, right? We're not the rulers of you or anyone.
But to me, this is what the Pluto transit to the United States Pluto is telling us, is that Pluto is God of the underworld, and it brings up all the icky, ucky, muddy, hidden stuff that you try to keep underneath and not look at. And the Pluto return for the United States says, no, here it is. You have to look at it and you have to fix it if you're going to move on. And you're going to move on no matter what. The question is how. And once again, I don't think Pluto is bringing this up to make it worse. I think Pluto is bringing it up to make it better. And we can look to the United Kingdom for an example of how that's been done. The United Kingdom has had 3 Pluto returns, and in each one, it evolved. The most recent was when it became the United Kingdom, exactly in the middle of one of these exact Pluto transits. So, I mean, we'll change. The United States will change as a result of this Pluto energy. But do remember, and I think this is also important, that, and I think, and I always compare it to Hamilton, because, you know, watch Hamilton again. Hamilton and his crowd were feeling exactly what we're feeling right now with Pluto, where Pluto was in the sky in Capricorn. And they started a revolution because they didn't like the way they were being governed. And they were willing to fight a war over it and found a new country. This is the energy that we're feeling. We are feeling this revolutionary energy, just like Hamilton, just like George Washington, just like John Adams, blah, blah, blah. We are them at this moment. And it is for us to decide how to take this country forward.
All
So
right.
that's my spiel about it. And I also will say that do know that, because I think this is the peak year in terms of that kind of energy because of the exactness. But from a few years ago, even, I did notice that Pluto is within 2 degrees either side of exact. From 25 Capricorn, first time into 25 Capricorn to last time out at 29 Capricorn, plus minus 2 degrees of the 27. From January 26, 2021 through November 19, 2024. And that is that's 2 weeks after Joe Biden took office, and it is 2 weeks after the next presidential election in 2024. So it's not over. And I think Biden's term will be focused on Pluto return type issues the entire time. So it's not over. This year, I think, will be the peak expression of it, the peak intensity. And so just hang in there, because I do think it will get better.
I mean, we are here. We are making incredible history.
Yes.
We are in this period, being involved in watching it in our environment that will be written in history books for our grandchildren to learn. Mm-hmm. And we'll be the old ladies or men in the rocking chair telling our grandchildren what it was like. And you know what, to keep that optimism, to say, yeah, it was time. And we can't do this on our own. We have to do it as an entire nation.
Yeah. So
the universe is aiding us to do this work.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, but
we have no choice. We don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice. No. And I believe this. I know you do too, Sandy, that we volunteered to be here for this. We volunteered to be here and witness this and to participate. And that's why we're still on the planet. So.
You're just dropping all kinds of mics. How many more you got over there?
No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox, but
we'll see. We'll see about that. Just
push
it to the side with your foot and you can bring it back. Right. So kind of since we are 30 minutes into our year and we've
Sorry, I'm the one being chatty today, Sandy.
I know, and I'm listening, so that's part of chatty, right? I'm gaining, I'm listening, I'm getting info. So that maybe we take this into quarters instead of where we were. I was going to just do months of 2022. We'll come back. Let's skip January right now. We're going to come back to January and we'll do a day-to-day synopsis on that. But February to me we get Mercury stationing direct with Pluto. And I find this, are we coming to a solution? Is there issues that were set here in December that maybe coming into an enlightened mode in February? Mars is moving fast right now, and Mars is trining Uranus. And this is really interesting because this is connecting to my midheaven. So there's a shift of more of a moving forward, a freeing up. This is very action packed. You're putting the Mars very action oriented with the planet of lightning bolt change. So in a trine, a trine says moving in the right direction, it can be still a chaotic period, but it's trying to get something to move. We have the Jupiter making a sextile to Uranus. Now, anytime these superior planets are moving into an aspect with an outer planet is a very interesting period, because they don't meet up very often, right? And these are important players. And this is why I am focusing on these for these months. And so that was just a quick visual here. And the sextile and the trines are very helpful to create situations that will open something up for the better. The squares, oppositions, and conjunctions of these can create possibly a violent or a unexpected, possibly, and we'll go through those each month as we go through the year of 2022, in the year of 2022. But this is the first time that they have met up in a sextile since 2009. And this is a very specific, helpful aspect. It kind of reminds me of opening up borders. It's something that we can move beyond something, at least for now, So does that mean borders are opened in February? And then one of the harder aspects in February is the Venus making a square to Uranus. Just as Venus is coming out of her retrograde cycle, she makes a square to Uranus, and she stays here for 4 days. She's coming into her period where she's here for 4 days. And so she stands her ground, stand your ground here of your new self. Do not fold back into those old habits.
Mm-hmm. And when you're talking about Mars, one of my notes was that Mars will be out of bounds from mid-January, January 13 through February 11. So everything Sandy said about Mars in February, triple that.
Yeah.
Because Mars out of bounds is extreme energy and kind of uncontrollable. But in February, when Mercury goes direct on the 4th, it starts a couple month period of almost 3 months of where all the planets are direct, which is always nice. So February 4 through April 28. And if you're thinking about doing really pretty much anything, starting a business, making a new plan for something, scheduling medical procedures, when all the planets are direct is always better. I mean, not that we still all have to live when they are sometimes retrograde, but for most of February, all of March, most of April is a really great time to do a lot of those things.
Yeah, it has a clearing out and a clearing away. And again, if this is just temporary, fine, we have an area to get things into order.
Yeah. And also, the first Pluto return is February 20th exact. And the few days before that, also mark your calendar to pay attention. On the 16th, the full moon in February is at 28 Leo, which is conjunct the United States total solar eclipse from 2017. And that just brings up that any conjunctions to that point at 28 Leo, bring that energy back a little bit. And if you'll recall, and when we did our thing up in Evanston to watch the eclipse, the path of the eclipse cut the country in two. So I think 4 days ahead of the first Pluto return, that week heading into that could be really tense because the full moon, which is emotional anyway, is aligned with the solar eclipse of 2017. And then 2 days after that, Jupiter is sextile Uranus, and that actually is pretty happy. And from a market standpoint can be bullish and signal a change in the business cycle. So,
Yeah.
but that 16th through the 20th of February, I think is something to be prepared for.
Yeah, because Mars not only out of bounds, Mars is moving faster than Venus. Mars is moving, usually Venus moves twice as fast as Mars. Now, how can Mars be moving faster? Venus is slower, coming out of her retrograde, but Mars is, so they're playing like this for a while.
Yeah.
Very interesting, I found that.
Mhm.
Alex, we're ready to go to March. Alex is saying she's ready for our next, your signed copy of your book.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing the generational mala. So let's do your book first. All right, Alex is going to get the.
You do that really well.
Yeah, I've been practice.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about
Here we
something that
go.
I had for about March, which was I expected the Fed's tapering to be done by March because that is the Mars return on February 27 exact from when they started in 2020. And sure enough, just last week, they announced that they were going to be done by March.
Yeah, interesting. Good call. Good predictive.
So,
okay, here we go. Oh, talk about your book. This is the gift this is the prize right now.
this is, oh, we can't see it, but my book.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Oh, can you? You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my copy of my book. I have little things in it because I use it a lot when I'm watching the markets. And I looked at 6 commodity markets, the S&P 500, gold, soybeans, crude oil, the Euro FX currency, and the 10-year T-note in the United States. And looked at how they respond price-wise to when their first trade horoscopes are getting hit by transits from planets. And I'm impressed with how the astrology works in it. And this book goes through that research but also does some, I have like a chapter on 101, if you're not a trader or markets, here's what you need to know, or vice versa, if you're a trader without astrological experience, kind of a backgrounder on the astrology of it.
Yay. All right, click to spin. Jane W. More things coming into your mailbox. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, Susan will sign that to Jane and get that in the mail. All right,
Yes.
We're also going to do this mala. This is one of the generational malas, which means that I make the guru bead. My mother strings the 108 beads, and Alex puts the tassel on. So this is one to improve spirits. So click. Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. You win this. I'll get this to you. I know your address. I'll get this to you early next week. Congratulations. And thank you for playing. I mean, this is kind
this is
of,
fun.
We do need to have fun, and we have to remember that it's not all doom and gloom, even though forecast can be an overcast. And let's continue on. We got a lot. We're like way super duper 100
Yeah, we are.
words behind. All right.
Sorry.
Let's see. Did we already talk about March? I'll quick talk about March. There's no retrograde planets. This is what I just said about clearing and maybe clearing out in a way for now. And it's important to do that. Like the more you can clear away and get organized, you're ready for the next, the next load, when you put everything where it needs to go. This is the sun making a conjunction with Jupiter while Jupiter is in his own sign of Pisces. This hasn't happened in 12 years. And so this is about free choice of faith and beliefs. This could be a lucky situation. I like this period because I am a Pisces. I have strong Pisces energy. The thing that I don't like about March is the Mars making a square to Uranus. And this is very volatile surprises, things that we didn't want, things that we weren't maybe expecting. Not so happy about that period in March. And of course, when we get to, end of February, we'll be really breaking down the March, but these are just an overview. What do you have for March, or should we go to April?
Well, March was just my note about the Fed tapering by then.
Yeah.
So we can go on to April.
Okay. Which actually, in combining that with that Mars making a square to Uranus, right? Like that will shock, that one thing may shock some people as they're prepping to go borrow money, getting loans and having that to be like changed. All right, April. Things I don't know if I like this one. I can't decide. The Mars making a conjunction to Saturn. These are the two malefics are meeting up. This is of course, this is getting on. It's like getting on well to move plans, but is it your plan or is it you have to compromise and do someone else's plan? I don't know. It's like these two guys getting together in Aquarius.
Well, the last time Mars was conjunct Saturn was in 2008, and the stock market dropped 43%.
Okay, there's the answer, because I wasn't sure how the two malefics, even though Saturn is strong here, but being strong doesn't mean good or bad, right? It just means strong.
Right.
Some of the things I do like about April is the Venus moving into Pisces. This is her exaltation, which means just bringing in well-mannered gestures. Also, this is the time, and it's actually the only hit. We get one pass of the superior planet of Jupiter conjoining with the outer planet Neptune. So this is a big deal. This is where imagination and inspiration meet. Or is it deception and diluted and dissolved things? So again, imagination and inspiration are things that are out here in the world. They're not here. So I do like it. Again, I'm a Pisces.
Well, I like it too. I mean, I think, once again, it's the conscious decision to use that energy, not to be diluted financially, which could happen, but to use it in a creative way. We talk a lot always about how the energy is just the energy. And it's up to us to choose the high road version of it or succumb to the low road version of it. It's your choice. Yeah. And we recommend the high road.
Right. The other thing is we get the first solar eclipse here at 10 degrees of Taurus. It's the first of two this year. And I think I do like this one. It strengthens security for me. It kind of like, to me, it like buckles up, and it's more about moody, home, family, security. So I do like this one.
Yeah, well, it's in Taurus, and so it does have that comfy, cozy kind of feel to it. Also in April, Jupiter is conjunct Neptune. I don't think did you say that?
Yeah, that's where the imagination and
I thought that was Venus, Venus.
Well, that's Venus moving into Pisces earlier on. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, anyway, Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces is one of the signatures that I I have found that signals potential recession. And it's the next one is in 2025, I think. So I'm a little leery about the economy into the first and early second quarter of next year, particularly with starting the year with Venus retrograde. That's typically bearish. Moving on to this Mars conjunct Saturn, a week ahead of the Jupiter conjunct Neptune. We'll see.
Okay. Let's go to May.
In May. Yeah.
All right. Things I do like about this is Jupiter making a sextile to Pluto. Again, this is regeneration to your spirituality. Again, where do you have to reach? Where do you have to believe? Where do you have to, and maybe it's because of that April kind of downturn maybe that you were just talking about, that we have to resurge what we believe and what our spiritual connection is to the higher good. Mercury makes his retrograde in his own sign of Gemini on the 10th, at the same time, same day that Jupiter leaves Pisces and goes into Aries. And so to me, this is where they're actually doing an aspect of sextile, which is reconsidering your actions, what's the greater of all good. You can't push everything through. So what are you choosing to push through?
And Mercury is Cazimi on the 21st of May. That's when the sun, it is in the heart of the sun. And so, on our monthly outlooks, we talk a lot about whenever Mercury is Cazimi, and being open to hearing the messages that just pop into your head from seemingly nowhere, and to know that one, it's okay that they do that, and two, to pay attention to them. That's on the 21st of May. And then this is really June, and maybe that'll bring us into June, which is that Mercury goes direct on the 3rd of June, which everybody goes, yay. But then the next day, June 4th, that's when Saturn goes retrograde. So there's this handoff in retrograde energy in very early June from Mercury to Saturn. So you don't get a lot of time to go, yay. Mercury retrograde's over.
I want to pop back to May with the lunar eclipse. It's the first of 2 eclipses we have this year. And we've got the moon conjunct the south node. Weakened moon. And it's square Saturn. This is rough, weak, and stuck. This happens on the 15th of May. Not a favorite. Not a fan.
And it's connected to the one at the end of April in terms of delineation, the embracing commitments and responsibilities. So it's examine what is important to you.
Yeah. So have you embraced or strengthened in the right way? Because it feels like something gets square Saturn. Like, no, the answer is no. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what Saturn wants to do, is limit. And then also too is the Mars making a conjunction with Jupiter in Aries, which is Mars domain. So this is a high energy force. It's speedy, pushy. It's not about team playing. It's about doing things on your own, basically. So if you're a leader, gather your tribe and please lead in Jupiterian ways of, having that creative, imaginative, wonderful sense of helping others. Yeah. All right. Now I'm ready for June. Is it time for another thing or not yet? No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet. And you go on June, because really June looked really boring to me. It was only this Mercury, this retrograde handoff from the 3rd to 4th that interested me in June.
It is one of my interests too. The Saturn making that stationing retrograde he had been super fast and now he's stopped. So really it feels like nothing is gained. Like we have come to an impasse. So that is one of my June things. The other is the full moon is making a square to Neptune. So is this a spiritual delusion, or there's no energy? And not a great full moon to me unless you're on a raft in the ocean with a motor. It's also the summer solstice time period where we're turning back to the dark. Now, I played you on this because when you love the winter solstice so much because it's returning to the light. So back at you, Susan. This is summer solstice returning back to the dark. But we're not there, we're not really there, but we're seeing it.
And we're only a few days from the solstice right now.
The
Yay.
winter solstice, yeah. Neptune is stationing retrograde here for his 4 to 5 month retrograde pass. We also have the new moon on the 28th of June. And I like this one a lot. This is Party Circle. It's a square to Jupiter. So that's my June. You want to hit July?
No, let's do the next raffle.
Okay. So what we are doing here are the webinar tickets. There's 2 webinar tickets and you get your choice of webinar that you would like to. But you know what? I'm going to say just get the first one that we were doing so that you don't forget. Have you ever forgotten about some free things? Because are we going to put down a list of everything of every month that we're going to do? Probably, we're not going to mention it here, but maybe that'll go up on the website at some point. But 2 webinar tickets. The first winner, we're going to it'll be 2 winners, right? Each person gets 1, and this value is at $30. And that includes your free personal charting. So I'll get your chart that relates to the webinar.
Actually, our first webinar next year is going to be on February 9, and we're going to talk about the US Pluto return in depth.
Get that one.
That one. Yeah.
Get that one. Okay, click. And the winner is. Sheila wins again. See, it's way fun. It's way fun to buy $1 worth of, and you get $30 of spending money for a webinar. Yay.
She's got good Jupiter transits going today, huh?
Juju going. So that'll go to your email box. And the next winner is. Winner is, Judy. You attend all the webinars. So love it that you finally get one for free. So that'll go into your email also, and you'll get your certificate to use. Okay. All right. Back to the grind of the overcast of the forecast. Let's get to June. We're halfway through the year and we're halfway through our talk. So
we got to hurry.
We'll go through January pretty quick.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be what it is kind of thing. Chitty chatting, too much.
So my first note on July, my note was rough start to July. No, we're done with
we're still in, we're in July. You're right. I thought we were in July.
Rough start to July. Mars enters Taurus, which is its detriment, and Mercury leaves Gemini, which is its strongest sign, both on the 5th of July. The day after the country's birthday. The second pass of the Pluto return is a week later on July 11. So once again, the opening days of July, I think, are another time to be aware that we're coming into the Pluto return energy, and kind of emphasized with 2 planets getting weaker, Mars and Mercury both.
I mean, you start out the month too with that Mars making a square to Pluto. Mars is super strong here because he's in his own sign of Aries. However, Pluto is in an overcoming square. So whoever is overcoming the other one literally overcomes it, right? So this is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like this period. And that's July 1st. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We go to the sun.
That's all I had about July.
Yeah. Well, I have more. the sun making that opposition to Pluto. Again, this is, sun does this once a year. This is the period, but if sun is making this opposition to Pluto, it's also squaring the Mars. So this is trying to be seen, but kind of always pushed down. So the king, or the whatever the sun represents here, is really not, is kind of falling, right? Is not able to stand in power too much. So not liking this period either. And then we get to the Uranus conjuncting the North Node. Now, any planet hitting the North Node strengthens it, makes it more stronger. And this hasn't been here since 2007. So look around you. Who is still surrounding you? Who are still important players in your world? You know, are they still invited? Do you still want them there? Do they want to be there? I don't know. This to me is kind of like a recheck in on the people that are in your environment.
Mhm.
Right. Also, we got the new moon making a trine to Jupiter stationing retrograde. Now, stationing retrograde, fine, it's Jupiter. But the fact that Jupiter is stationed here, right? He's standing still. To me, and it's a new moon, which means even though there is no moonlight, I want you to kind of go outside and bask in this feeling of no moonlight, but feeling the moon, feeling this on an emotional level of beginning something new. So, and that's the end of it, because that's the 28th. So yeah, it starts out rough. And to me, it's kind of like, you know, what do I have within my power that I can feel, even though I can't see it? Okay. All right. August.
Good thing to say. In August, for me, the big thing is that the Saturn-Uranus square that has been the 2021 transit of the year, which is pitting status quo Saturn against change of Uranus. They are both retrograde starting August 24, and they don't hit an exact square again, but they come their very closest in October. And so in August is when they start moving in earnest back toward each other. The sun comes up and makes a T-square with those two, August 11 through 15. So once again, you know, tension about change versus staying the same.
And let's remind you, Mars is square this, right? Mars is square Saturn. And because this Mars is conjoined to Uranus. So action-packed, discharge, tough going, risky behaviors. You may feel courageous, like I can do this. You know, if you know the astrology of the sky, no, you can't. Like there's some other bigger force that is beckoning you to hold, please. Right, so that hold please can be very frustrating. And that's when the sun moves into to Leo, which is another fixed sign. We've got fixed things here. So, you know, in both the lunations this month of August involve the malefics. So I don't like this. I mean, I don't really like, I mean, there may be a little window, and I'll talk about that too. I don't like August too much because the sun makes that square to Mars, making that opposition to Saturn, like you mentioned. And really, my first word that came to mind was scrapple. I literally, and I know the word scrapple because it's similar to Gidel, which is a German breakfast food that I make all the time. But the scrappling is just like putting a bunch of things together and baking it and having it work out. And it just doesn't. So a little scrappling. Uranus stations retrograde here. And that's why Uranus here is, as you mentioned, it stays. right? Any planet stationing, the word station means it's turning and it has to slow down, it has to pivot. And that the planet Uranus doesn't want to stop. He's in Taurus, the Earth fixed. He's been there for 5 years, 4 years, 4 to 5 years. And he's stationing. So this is like blow up, energy. The one thing that I do have a little window here that I do like is, I don't have the date here. It's the 18th. It is my favorite day of the month, which is the Venus making a trine to Jupiter. So, you know, Venus, this is a kind of the window with a great view. So while all this is happening around, you can look out a window and see, like, way over yonder, you know, if I were Rapunzel, you know, way over yonder is calm.
And at the end of August, I'm speaking at the ESAR conference in Denver. You're going to be there too.
I'll be there with my vending talismans. Yes.
So.
And I know that they probably didn't choose this because they kept having to delay and delay.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know,
this was supposed to happen in 2020.
Then they tried it in 2021. And then they're doing it in 22, and they're using the same month and the same dates. I think that might be just a thing about the hotel.
That's my guess.
Package that they have. And because, you know, we're going, but we'll have a lot, the astrologers will have a lot to talk about. Yeah. So come join. Yeah. All right. What do we have next?
In September, you know, the only thing I thought was cool, I love the Mercury Kazemi. And so that was my cool thing in September. It's on September 22 to 23 in Libra, and then goes back into Virgo right after it finishes its Kazemic period. So.
Well, I'm going to piggyback on that because I had that also as one of my, and where is this going on? 0 degrees. It's sitting on the world point.
Yes.
It's sitting on the Aries point, world point. So all is involved in this discussion, right? Is there a Zoom call? Is there a meeting being planned? It could be that it's a behind the scenes kind of meeting, right? Because it goes into the combust and then this does the Kazemi and then it's combust again. So I do have my eye on that as well. But September to me, I do have a couple other things that this all superior planets, along with, so the 2 superior planets, Jupiter and Saturn, and the outer planets, Neptune, or Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, are all retrograde here, all of them in September.
Yeah.
We also have the fall equinox when the sun moves into Libra. That happens every year. That's a halfway point of the seasons. Then we have, then the what you just mentioned. And then I also have Venus moving into her home sign of Libra. And she finds cooperation and getting along because she doesn't have these 2 traditional malefics, Saturn or Mars, in a hard aspect. They're aspected. So if we think that Venus goes into her home sign Libra, that's air. We look over to Saturn, he's in air, retrograde in Aquarius, and we look over and look at Mars, and he's in retrograde, or he's not retrograde yet, but he's in Gemini, air. So these are trines. This ends up showing up as a grand trine. So I really think Venus comes in here and says, can we just all get along? And we look at Uranus. I looked at Uranus, and Uranus is averse. So Uranus isn't even in the picture here with Venus. She can't see him and he can't see her. So that one part there. And what's the date of that in September? Oh, the 29th. Yeah. Click your ruby slippers. You are home to solve and calm others is my monthly note. So, you know, you're kind of getting a sense. We still have October, November, and December to go through. And it might be ding ding time. Right. Oh, it is, Alex is saying, but I do want to kind of set here that, you know, in the blackness of my shirt, there are paths I noticed this when I looked in the mirror today. I'm like, there are lighted paths to get through the dark. So as we started our conversation an hour and 9 minutes ago, that yikes, right? That there are ways to get through us. And Susan beautifully reminded us that we chose to be here. We are the ones to bring this up, to raise the plane away from what we actually see below. Amen, sisters. Okay, Alex, what are we raffling off this time? Oh, let's just look. Ready when you are. Chakra bracelet set. So chakra bracelet set. These, you get the little card that goes with it. These are graduated gradation colors, which I have almost in the right. I had these actually in the right position. I pulled them out right because I put them in right. And this is a value of, and it's really cool the way people use these. And they're all marked. These are not price tags. These are markings so that you can figure it out. This is the sun crown chakra. Maybe you wear this on Sundays. You know, Jupiter, opening your third eye. Maybe you wear this on Thursdays. All that information is in this card. All right. Ding, 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 ding. What song are we hearing now? What part of the world are we going to now? I do like those were Balinese. I know. We miss Bali, and I know you do too. Here we go. The winner of Bali again. Shelly, you're on fire. Shelly D, you win a chakra. And I think you already have a set. So you have a Christmas gift to give. You may want to give one to each of your friends that are, you know, Jupiter, Pisces, Jupiter or Sun or Mercury. Anyway, love, we'll mail this to you with all the other things that you won.
No, that's Sheila that got the other two. This is
Oh,
Shelley.
this is Shelly. Oh my gosh, Shelly. This is Shelly. Hi.
Yeah.
Good. I read that wrong. Shelly, this is coming to you. I'm going to mail this to you. Mwah.
And now we're going to do a 3-month subscription to my newsletter. And for that, I'll need your email. And that'll start in January.
And Alex has the emails. That's why we have to do the tickets. Click. Linda M. She just texted me saying that she's on an airport run and she has to, she can't watch. So she won. Yay. Your newsletter, which actually she'd be very, very, very interested in the finances. Yeah. You know her. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, continuing on. We're coming up to the last quarter of this 2022, which seems so far away. But you know how quick things have been moving. Let's go to October. I have really action-packed and frustrating with a V-E-R-Y in front of frustration. That spells very. What do you got? I got a lot to say here.
What I have is that astrologically, I see a pattern that suggests the potential for a market crash in October. Like a big one. And that would be, I'm watching October 20th of 2022 for that. And interestingly, and so I've done some research on this and I'm thinking, okay, well, it's good to know when there's a crash, but that's when all hell breaks loose. And so you want to sell before that, right? Okay, so when do you sell before that? And the answer is you sell on the first quarter moon before the potential crash day. And that would be October 3rd. So watch the market in early October for signs of weakness that may set up for a potential market crash 20th, 21st.
You need to repeat
Yeah, I'm
that?
just a bundle of good news in 2022, aren't I?
No, don't repeat that then. Never mind. Just when you get the recording, go to this marking of 1 hour and 14 minutes or 1 hour and 12 minutes and listen to it again. We don't want to say it. Because it actually, when I look at my smaller notes on that date because the 19th and 20th look really, I wrote down to dirty, frustration can lead to manipulation. Ouch.
Oh, and I should add that I've looked at the potential for crashes in October through 2032. And so 10 years out. And this is one of 4 patterns that set up like this over the next 10 years. So
I'm a Pisces, so I don't even understand what you just said. So it doesn't concern me. I like not to know stuff like that. Like I'll just be in it. But no, Capricorn need to plan ahead. You like to know the order of things. All right, here's what I have for October. Mercury stations direct, Saturn stations direct. And I think they do this within a Pluto stations direct within the first week of October. So meaning they've been retrograde and they are moving forward. Now they're purposeful. Now they're getting to some work. We can expect some things there. I also have the Mars making a square to Neptune. And I think this might be also in addition to what your financial outlook is for that, because to me, this is very unstable unless you're involved in a creative project. So, kind of because it's Mars squaring Neptune, the planet of illusion, delusion, and it's kind of getting poked. So it's like Mars poking a container of water can get flooded, right? So I don't really like that period either. The sun is also making a superior cazimi to Venus while Venus is in her sign of Libra. So this is 9 months after the cazimi that we're going to have in about 3 weeks time on her retrograde cycle into the sun, which happens on January 8th. Anyone that's going on the retreat with me will be on our way home in the plane while this is going on in the sky. We'll be up in the sky with her. And this is happening this 9 months later, which is like, what are you birthing? This is a 9-month gestational period of like, what is coming out? What are you birthing? What is coming out of you? This is also the second solar eclipse. This is a partial. And this is a dark unknown force. Not real super about that. We also have Jupiter retrograde moving back into Pisces to me, which will be hitting my sun 3 times, and anybody that has planets at 29 Pisces, 28 Pisces. This is the 2 degrees where Jupiter will come back around for the second time and then the 3rd time. And this is, again, to me, is like returning to help some the needy or needing compassion, or we just need a reprieve. I also have this date that Mars begins his stations retrograde at the end of the month, the end of October the 30th. Mars starts his retrogradation in Gemini, and Mars is the energy force going into a mutable air sign, meaning pow, 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 multiples, variables, not staying on one thing, throws his energy out, so feeling very fighting words, what has already been voiced. You got to maybe eat some words. Now he retrogrades all the way through into January of 2023 before he starts moving forward. And he's usually on a 60-ish day retrograde cycle. Guess what number I got to when I counted his retrograde days? 73. Way longer than his normal cycle of retrogradation. I was listening to Chris Brennan, and they were talking about having, the last time that this happened, there were some wars, going on in the world. And I'm not going to get into that because this is just what I heard. I didn't do any research. So I feel like I might do some research for our October forecast to find out more information about that. So again, you guys don't miss all of our monthly get-togethers for this 1 hour forecast for each month, where we get into each one really specific.
And all of this sets up for what we chatted about early on. What's going to be just one wild election day on Tuesday, November 8th. Astrologically, it is like off the charts. There's a full moon lunar eclipse that day. Conjunct Uranus.
Total lunar eclipse.
Conjunct Uranus and Mercury. Uranus and Mercury already are, that's like putting huge emotion into fast changing news, fast changing activity, explosion potential kinds of things. Mars is out of bounds and quincunx Pluto. So there's tension between those two nasty people. The eclipse itself, the delineation of it, is about being forceful, about taking power and sudden events. So that's the eclipse all by itself. Then it's conjunct exactly those things, Uranus and Mercury, sudden events.
And square Saturn.
Yeah.
To me, this is stand ready, stay put. You don't know it. You don't know what's happening yet. Because, if we think about a full moon making these conjunctions to the Uranus and Mars in the South Node, it's like there's something occurring that is like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. It's like hold, please, hold steady, stand ready, stay put. It will kind of, not that it's going to come out in the wash, but will be revealed.
But the really interesting thing, I think, and I think once again, even though that energy is just like off the charts, wild and abrupt, here's the cool thing. Mercury will be Cazimi all day. The Mercury Cazimi, which is when you get aha moments, brilliant insights, where Mercury and the Sun are right together in the same, within 17 minutes of arc of each other, starts at 11:09 on Monday night and ends at 10:14 p.m. on election day. So the entire time that people are actually going to the polls, I know we all vote potentially early and stuff like that, but on election day itself, Mercury will be Cazimi. And I see that as a good thing. That people who are voting that day, people who are commenting on the voting that day, will have brilliant insight into what is really going on.
I agree. And then after that 10 o'clock at night, he becomes combust.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that something falls apart. So again, probably this is one of my top, and I didn't list them, but I would put this as maybe the top 1 or 2 conflict days of the year. Year. Okay. Are we ready to go to November? Oh, we are in November.
We're in November.
Okay. Yeah, I piggyback on what you just said there. It's also, we're moving into Scorpio season, and the ruler, what rules Scorpio? Mars. Mars is retrograde, inversatile Gemini, as I mentioned. And it's just like too many things. There's moving objects at all the time. We don't know. We don't have a focused energy. Our guns, or hopefully not our guns, or our arrows, or our compass is doing this. And so I don't see this as very clear. We talked about the full moon on election day during the solar eclipse. I also have the Mars retrograde squaring, back squaring Neptune on here. So this is anxiety and misperceptions. The good thing I like is, and thanks Katie for saying in your chat that Katie said, thank you for seeing some of the bright sides of the year. So here's a bright side for you, Katie, is the new moon that we have with Jupiter stationing direct. It's like when a planet is coming out of his retrograde cycle, it feels like they're coming out of their covers or their blankets or their bed where they have been maybe stuck. And this is like coming out of hiding. So I do like the new moon that comes out at the end of November, specifically the 23rd of November. Okay. December.
So Katie also had a question real quick about refinancing a house. And I would say in general, you might want to look at the Venus retrograde period coming up for doing refinancing. Starts tomorrow, the 19th, and goes through what, the 28th of January. Venus retrograde is always a good time to ask for better rates on anything, credit cards, houses, whatever. And that's just a general, that's a good practice to do in Venus's retrograde. If you want to know specifically the day that might be good to work on that, talk with us on Wednesday, January 12th, with one of our Chatting with the Stars readings.
Because it sounds like not to do it after this April or March period when you said that the feds are upping the rate.
Yeah.
Right. You want to kind of get it while we're at the 0 mark. And that sounds like, and has been newsworthy, expected to go up in March, like they've already said. Yeah. All right.
So
I only have a couple things to say.
okay, you go.
Full moon on the 7th, conjunct Mars, fight of the people.
Ooh.
The sun making a square to Jupiter on the Aries point. Here we are, another Aries point. I find that really interesting. 2 Aries point situations that are going on that are conflicting. And here we are. This is the second connection of this year. And can we see a better world? This is sun squaring Jupiter, and that's not a bad square with Jupiter. But can we see a better world? And this is coming toward the end of the year. I also have the Mercury making a stationing retrograde at 24 degrees of Capricorn, which is the same point as Venus is retrograding tomorrow. She retrogrades at 26. He will be retrograding at 24. That's a 2-degree orb, which I consider same, right? Same area. So similar and familiar subjects will be questioned and tested next year on December. Do you have that date? The station retrograde.
Oh, the 29th of December.
Okay, I knew it was at the end of the year. So what Venus is doing for you tomorrow for the next 40 days will be maybe tested in 1 year from now when Venus hits or when Mercury hits this to question you. So I think it's really important. I am hosting, I'm going to throw this in here for anyone. It's not on the website yet. We haven't thrown anything out yet. We are kind of working behind the schedule, not just behind the scenes. I am hosting a Venus heliacal rise on January 15th, where I'll be making, it's a talisman webinar. So it's me making you a pair of earrings with the rose, red rose color. It's really cool. It's a new design we've put together, but keep your eye out for that. Put that on your calendar already. This is January 15th. I think it's going to be around 11:02 a.m. Central Time, but that can help you hold on to click in what it is that you value and what your self-worth is and what is important to you because that will be very important in 2022 all the way through until the end of the year.
And for me in December, it stuck out that Mercury, Venus, Mars, the three personal planets that move the fastest, are all going to be out of bounds December 1 through 22 together. So kind of a wild month where a lot of, they can, when they're out of bounds, and once again, Mercury, communications, Venus, money, finances, Mars, actions that you take are all uncontrollable, can go rogue, can behave not as quite expected. So that's December 1st through 22nd. And with Mercury going retrograde on the 29th, the shadow period starts the 13th. I think, and that the Friday, the December 30th is the last trading day of the year. And with Mercury turning retrograde the day before, and the shadow period starting the 13th, and all the planets out of bounds pretty much all month. If you have trades to close out, I would do that sooner rather than later in December. Preferably before Mercury enters its shadow on the 13th, but certainly by the solstice on the 21st.
And that's the same month we have the final pass of Pluto to the United States Pluto.
Yes.
Even though they'll get close in 2023, it is the final exact partile conjunction. So we're starting the year out in new discovery that needs to be permanent. And so the breakage, the wreckage, and we've, like Susan said, we've already been here for it. So, as we kind of wrap up this year, stay on your plan, stay steady, steady. What, especially with this Venus retrograde, it's like, what do you want? What do you desire? The moon is what we need. And those needs will be questioned in 2022. But what we desire and what we have from the within, what do we hold is our authentic original self. Well, I'll talk about the whole story of Anana going to visit her estranged sister Erishkakal. I'll talk about all about that during this Heliacal Rise webinar that I'm having. Anyway, we're going to be here.
Yeah.
We're all going to stay on the planet, and I do think, and I don't know if anybody's asked, what do you think? Because I'll ask you, because I have my comments. What do you think about COVID?
I think the Jupiter conjunct Neptune in April will bring some relief.
Me too.
And good news. So,
and I also think that I think it's still here in 2022, but I think we're already seeing it dividing and subdividing and separating and moving in variants, that it will continue to do that. And hopefully we'll get weaker, and it may spread faster, like they're finding out this Omicron is, but it may not have the impact that it does. Of course, those that are vaccinated may have a little bit more strength against it, fight against it. But to me, it's more about separating until it's like diminished.
Yeah.
Strength.
And, and good news about pharmaceuticals to potentially help too, because Neptune rules drugs, and Jupiter conjunct that could increase the potential pharmaceutical answers.
And Jane asks, what will that have to do with Social Security?
Well,
funds that are currently in Social Security or are supposed to be there. I'm interested too. I'm the age.
Yeah.
Susan and I are 2022.
Yes, I get to sign up.
Susan and I have done, maybe we share this. We've had multiple over the years conversations about Social Security money that we are all owed at a certain time. We can get it at 62. We can wait till we're 70. But it sets the 65. But now it's been added to, we have to wait 65 years and 4 months.
66 and 4 months
66 and 4 months. Thank you. I knew it was added on.
for me
And
anyway.
we're gonna, and we're taking, and I'm taking it.
Yeah, me too.
So what does it have to do with the Social Security money? I'm guessing that's what she's asking. What do you think, Susan? You're the money financial girl.
Well, Jupiter conjunct Neptune, I think, has the potential to increase inflation. And we're already kind of seeing that now. But I think this is like fake inflation. This is my opinion. And I'm going to do some more serious work on it, but I know enough to know that I'm way in the camp that real inflation occurs only when Neptune is in fire signs, and Neptune doesn't move into Aries until 2025. So my take on what's happening now is that, okay, we're having some inflation for whatever reason that is. But I think we'll get overconfident about how it might be conquered. And then when it comes for real, when Neptune enters Aries in another 3 years, everybody will go, oh yeah, we got that. We know how to fix that. No. So I think it will take us all by surprise in 2025.
And an add-on to that, because, you know, we're watching the Social Security comments very closely because we're of the age that they just made this announcement that we're getting an, I think it's 8% raise for our Social Security checks, the biggest that there has ever been since like 1960 or something like that, of like $92 a month. Everybody on Social Security will get the same $92 more per month. So there's part of the, we're getting the inflation cost. All right, Alex is saying time for the roly-poly, and then we're going to have like a quick 20 minutes to go through
January, which is the benefit of having a cheat sheet.
All right, we are giving away I Am Successful, this orbit. You wear this around your neck, you rotate this between your fingers, and you repeat, I am successful. I am successful. It rotates within your fingers. All right, go. ADF. Here's another birthday present coming your way. I am successful. Next one. This is exciting. This is with Uranus making well, the sun making a sextile to Uranus. Okay. Shelly B, 2 things coming your way. Yay, congratulations. And maybe you're just here to see some fun and some fun roundies and music.
I love
and the
that.
possibility to win something. You don't even have to play bingo. So yay. All right, January.
Okay, January.
And then we have one more gift to give away, which is the big one, which is the 1 hour reading with Susan and I to have more fun. January.
Okay, you start with January. You have a lot to say about the first.
Well, my first day, January 1st. I love how it begins.
Me
This
too.
is new exciting changes and make daring moves to innovate. I love this day, and it is the first day of my retreat in Mexico. Do you oh, you like
yeah,
it
no,
too?
I think it's just exciting. Sun conjunct Uranus. Yay.
Sun trine Uranus.
Oh, Sun trine Uranus, sorry. I can't read my cheat sheet.
And then we have got Mercury moving into Aquarius. So this
Yay!
is able to absorb abstract subjects, ideas, and originality. This is a great time to study astrology if you are so inclined, and you must all be inclined. It's also the day of the new moon. The new moon comes in at 12:33 p.m. Again, all these times that we give you are central. This is at 12 degrees of Capricorn. It is in making a trine to Uranus. So I like this specifically because it hits my natal Mars. So standing up in your own space, ground, being different than you have ever been, step on new ground.
Mhm. And the second, remember, Mercury is exalted in Aquarius, so extra super duper able to execute its ideas and thoughts and ideas. And so really have fun on New Year's Day, just enjoy it. I think the second is when that new moon and Mercury newly into Aquarius is the day when you can, that's the intention setting day for your New Year's resolutions, if you like to do that.
Yeah, and that's a Sunday, the second. So, that's kind of a recovery day. Wednesday, the 5th, we've got the Venus retrograde making a sextile to Neptune. This is the second of 3 passes. Remember, she's on a retrograde trek. The first time was Tuesday, November 30th. This is just a readjustment of positioning of self, right? Like something feels out of place. If it is out of place, you just have to make an arrangement and you can get it back in place.
And Venus sextile Neptune is a good day, I think, to review the charitable donations that you make, either financially or with your time. Who would I like to support, and why? Kind of related to the 8th, which is the next day, or Saturday the 8th, the sun is conjunct Venus, so the Venus Cazimi on the 8th, and a really great day to focus on what brings you financial security.
Yeah, this is the inferior conjunction. This happens exactly at 6:48 p.m. We'll be on the plane with her. This is burning off, cleansing the old. This is self-love to unveil new raw self. This is the burning off period of what is stuck that you may not have picked it up. Somebody might have attached it to you. Burn it off. All right. I like this day. Yeah. Monday the 10th, we have the sun making a sextile to Neptune at 20 degrees. Very sensitive period. Find peace and renewal.
Yeah, chill. That's my word of the day for the 10th.
Tuesday the 11th, Mars is making a square to Neptune at the same at 20 degrees. Use rational thoughts on important topics. Otherwise, stay in the lane that you know.
And for me, this is a day when the actions you take could be unclear or fuzzy. Like, should I really do this? Should I maybe not? Just don't decide on the 11th.
Friday the 14th, we have got Mercury.
Wait.
Oh.
Wednesday the 12th, readings with us. And I know we've got 1 hour booked already, so there's 1 hour left.
Okay. I'm not even going on those notes. I'm going on my little notes. Friday, the 14th, Mercury is stationing retrograde at 10 degrees of Aquarius at 5:41 a.m. This is his backward walk. He'll be walking all the way back. So he's in an air sign here in Aquarius at 10 degrees, walks back, goes back into Capricorn to 24 degrees. So anybody having the sun in that area will be met 3 times with Mercury.
And when Mercury goes retrograde, this is, the bright ideas that you had on the 2nd of January. This is a time to say, oh, did I really mean that? Maybe I need to reconsider my New Year's resolutions already, only 2 weeks in.
Yeah. And then, of course, on the 15th is my favorite day. This is the heliacal rise of Venus. I like this day. Where she is now seen in the morning sky. She's an evening star right now. She's going to descend into the underworld, Cazimi, the sun underneath, come up. We'll be able to see her heralding in the sun, coming up over the horizon and being more of a warrior goddess. She's not looking to pick a fight, but she is ready to stand for her right. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Something like that. Anyway, that's my favorite day of the month. Sunday,
And
15th.
Sunday the 16th, yeah, Sun conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, the holidays are over. It is time to really buckle down, claim it. You can do it. You're in charge. You're in power. Go for it.
Work as a team for a common goal. And those that can't work as a team should just go off to the side
Yes.
and disappear. Because we're really looking for powerful leaders here.
Mhm.
So if you can't decide, go to the side.
Yeah.
That kind of rhymes, but it does. Then we've got Monday the 17th. This is my conflict day. I've got 2 conflict days here, and they both happen to be the lunations, as I mentioned in the beginning. This is the full moon at 27 Cancer. This is at 5:48 p.m. And we got think about this. This is a full moon. So the sun is in Capricorn, opposing the moon in Cancer. Moon loves Cancer, but she is where she wants to be protective and concerned in the mundane world. It's the public, it's the common folks, it's the people. But what's sitting with the sun? Pluto. So this is to care for oneself in order to perform the proper duties.
And this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so I would encourage you to use that energy to help care for others.
Tuesday, the 18th, Uranus stations direct. This is at 10 degrees of Taurus. Now, this is the last time of 10 degrees Taurus. He'll sit here for a little bit, but he is not going back to 9. He is not going back to 8. He is finishing up 10 and won't be back here for 84 years. So you 2-year-olds that are listening, you'll be 86 years old when this comes back again. Okay. And this is about unique things and humanity concerns return to the top of the list. Anyone's birthday that is May 1st through May 5th will get the biggest Uranus, the last bit of the Uranus. So Uranus is leaving your building soon, and the change will be slow, but by your birthday this year, you'll notice a change.
Mhm. And just whenever Uranus changes direction, be prepared for some sort of unexpected jolt to the energy field. And this sometimes can manifest as earthquakes, as literal jolts to the earth, particularly with Uranus in an earth sign. So potential for that on the 18th. Also, the North Node enters Taurus on this day. And this on the McWhirter economic clock means that the North Node is moving from the 7th house into the 6th, and so going below the horizon of the chart. And it means the economy in this theory is moving from normal to below normal, where it reached its peak in Leo and will reach its bottom in Aquarius in another 26, 27, based on where the nodes are. So
Pause here. I think we need a little bit of a optimistic view right here. Remember, the spiritual beings that are here on this call and that will be watching this call, we have the opportunity to rise above this. Yes, we are humans. Yes, we need our money, but we are choosing to do different things with our money. And the fact that other people will attach to us because we can help them raise their level. And the next day, on the Wednesday the 19th, we got the sun moving into Aquarius. So this is about time for sticking to those aspirations. So as a lead up, it's like, how can we get to more humanity, community? Let's gain and bring our tribe more. Let's grow our tribe.
Yeah, ditto. Sun moving into Aquarius, but it also falls into back-to-back Aquarius energy that is new, that is shifting. And so kind of 2 days of potential unexpected jolts.
And let's just also remind people that the sun in Aquarius is opposite Leo. So the sun here ruling Leo is in the opposite sign. So sun is in detriment here. So, but that's why it's not the king, or it's not the one person that's the leader. It's not the dictator here. It is the people. It is the community, the humanity that's in charge here. So fine, be in detriment, sun. We will circle around and be all equals.
Yeah.
Sunday, the 23rd, we have that Kazemi that you were talking about. You want to talk about this? I've got releasing stuck thoughts, veiled.
And Mercury exalted in Aquarius, the sun conjunct it. So once again, Mercury Kazemi, pay attention to the more brilliant than normal ideas. And this is my favorite day, mainly because this conjunction is conjunct my natal Mercury at 03 Aquarius.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna probably not sleep and I'm gonna be ready to, I don't even know how to write down or capture all the stuff that I'm expecting to get on the 23rd of January.
Voice memo. Hello.
Yeah, I got to learn how to do that.
Oh my God. We'll have a tutorial on it. Monday, the 24th, we have Mars moving into Capricorn. Now, it's not my favorite day, but I do like this. I have Mars in Capricorn. And he's finally back in his exaltation place. He hasn't been here for like 2 years. February 17th of 2020. So this to me is the soldier, the athlete, the entrepreneur returns back to the esteemed place. Much happens over the next 6 weeks.
And I always like to think of Mars in Capricorn as being the flag bearer for doing the right thing for the right reason. I am here to help. I am the warrior that can protect and defend. And so use Mars in Capricorn to do the right thing for the right reason.
Thursday, the 27th, we have Mercury retrograde ingressing, going backwards into the sign prior, which is that Capricorn, which is the earth sign that we talked about. So Mercury returns to Mars's bounds. And so that this is kind of been managed while Mars moves into his bounds. Yeah. So this is managing well. I think that there's big help to think about and also do. So it's interesting because as Mars moves into Capricorn in the front door, right, at 0 degrees, 3 days later, Mercury moves it back in the back door of Capricorn at 29, 28. So it's like they're entering to what? To hello up there, hello back there. What's the path? Like Mars is going to be moving over a path that Mercury is already considered. So it's almost like Mercury will say, I'm way back here, take a left and then go 2 steps, take a right, I'm over here. And so I think that there's some order going here, but with what you were thinking when Mercury moved into Capricorn, which is happening in December right now. Mercury moving into Capricorn on December 7th already. So it's already happening. So to me, this is Mars now gets to lead through.
Yeah.
So think good thoughts.
And the Mercury retrograde in Capricorn is always a time to check back in with those ideas from earlier. The resolutions from the 2nd and beyond. So you may not be done. You'll just have good ideas early in the month about what you'd like to accomplish in the year. And really, here's another time to say, okay, is that really what I wanted? Is that really what I can actually accomplish in Capricorn?
And you may say, I can try it.
Yeah.
And if I get near, that's good. That's good. Friday, the 28th, is the Mercury making that conjunction to Pluto. This is, to me, Mercury returns back to the Pluto to deliver a message or to get a message. So,
and I always like to look at Mercury conjunct Pluto as the potential for secret messages to arise, where Mercury would like to stir up the secretive Pluto pot and say, huh, look at this. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, too bad.
right. Yeah. It can be certainly the dark space. Saturday, the 29th, this is where Venus now stations direct at 11 degrees at like 2:46 in the morning. She's able to reconcile with those who are on her level. Only the people that are on her level, because now she's all clean and new and fresh again. So, for those that know that Venus is going retrograde, yay, all of you here. The people that don't know, that aren't here, that don't know, that will not know, they'll feel it. And they'll have that trying to hold on to some old things that they've desired that may just go.
Yeah. And when Mercury turns direct, or sorry, Venus turns direct at the end of January, this is when the markets may be free to move higher again. I've seen them turn on exactly the day that Mercury turns retrograde and turns direct. So it's something
You
to
mean
watch.
Venus? You mean
Venus. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Thank you.
Sunday,
And-
go on.
And Saturday, the 29th is when we'll do our February outlook at 10 in the morning, Central.
For 1 hour.
Yeah.
No gifts.
Yeah.
This is actually what I'm calling my astrologically interesting day. I always give one of those, sometimes
Mhm.
two. This is that sun making a square to Uranus. Now, how this ends the month will be the feeling that you were not able to do something that you considered so important at the beginning of the month. Remember, the sun was making that trine to Uranus, and Susan and I were like, yay, January 1st, a trine to the sun and Uranus. Yay, what new changes and exciting and new things that daring moves I can make. But by the 30th of the month, sun has moved now along 30 degrees and made a square. And it's like, oh, I was going to try and do that. I am now probably not able to handle it or push it through any further. So you want to make any changes you can before we get the sun to the square.
Yeah.
On this day.
And remember, the sun in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus are both fixed signs. So my note about this is that really nothing moves forward under a fixed square like this. It's just unable to get moving.
And final day, which is my conflict day of the month of January, is Monday the 31st. It's a new moon at 12 degrees of Aquarius. This happens at 11:46 p.m. So just go to bed early and sleep through this. We've got this conjuncting Saturn and making a square to Uranus. Okay. This is also the Chinese New Year of the tiger. The tiger, right?
Yeah.
Like fighty. This is a whole lot of bricks. Are we building something to overcome obstacles? Do we need to get over something? Or are these a whole lot of bricks coming down onto our head of something that we were trying to build? Have we fallen off the scaffold?
I think try and build it up, because it's a new moon and it's in Aquarius. And so try to do something brand new. Try to do something that surprises even yourself. Particularly with the Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn likes to build things, and in Aquarius, it likes to try a new way to do that. So go for it. I kind of like this new moon in Aquarius.
Okay.
Despite the hard aspects.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Look at this.
We are ready for our final round prize. And I've been seeing people still placing their raffle ticket orders. So let's get to, which is so funny, which means that maybe these people, and I don't know who they are yet, just wanted our reading, right? So here we go. And Susan, this can be at any time this 2022. You'll have the certificate to use it at any of our Chatting with the Stars that Wednesday nights that the second Wednesday of every night. No, the second Wednesday of every month.
Yeah.
Oh, too many words getting stuck in my mouth. All right. And the winner, oh, not yet.
We got to run it first. She's got to run it.
Oh, Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. I highly recommend a reading with Sandy and Susan. They look at specifics and timings that is best for you. Thank you.
Isn't that nice? Thank you so much. And we do. And the beauty of having both of us take a look at your chart is that we see things differently. We come at it, the chart differently. So I don't know, you get different things. I'm a big fan of having different takes on the same chart. I've had readings done by several different astrologers and they all see something different. It's all valuable. It's all, it's just this is an art. And you get our personal take from an art perspective, on your chart. We all see it differently.
It's true. I, this year alone, have had 3 different readings from kind of not new astrologers, but new astrologers for me to do readings with, because I wanted their take, an evolutionary, a medieval, and a traditional. So here you get Susan and I in the same reading, right? We're on the same Zoom calls, just like
this.
Me, and Alex would be the reader, and we do open up we share screen and we do pointing things, and of course it's recorded, so you can go back, stop, write down, stop. So, but be in the camaraderie and the questioning as we go through your questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Alex is saying yes now to our final. We are 1 minute over, and we got our final. This is a $180 value of a 1 hour reading with Susan and I.
And I just say
That winner is Katie. Congratulations.
Yay.
Yay, win. Birthday week for you. So perfect. I'm sure you're excited over there.
And
okay.
I don't want to, and I will say also that it's fun, I think, when you and I see the same thing and read it the same way, going, oh yeah, no, that's really important.
Yeah. And seriously, especially if you've not had a reading with us, but you've known us here, this is how we are. This is our personalities. And, we're talking about a Capricorn and a Pisces, and in the theme of Monday, these 2 placements get along. They're a sextile, right? Capricorn is sextile to Pisces. So we do get along, but we can come at things from different perspectives. It's not like we see completely square or completely opposite, or we're not the same-o, we're not conjunct. So I like the fact that we just kind of became friends that way.
Yeah. Well, plus our Mars and Suns are conjunct. So
yeah. So we do have the same ambition.
Yeah.
To provide. And do that thing that your hand was right in the middle of the screen of doing things for the right cause. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here for these 2 hours. I know it's been long. I hope you gained a lot. So remember, 2022 is, are we familiar with the 2020, the 2021? We're going into a 2022. Do we really think there's going to be roses and clouds, that we are going to be on magic carpet rides? No,
not yet.
We're going to have windows of time of fresh rose smells and love tokens, and windows of periods of seeing who we are in the mirror and really, really liking where we are if you're following the energy of your soul.
And remember to hold the light of what you want, of what we can become. That is our job to do.
It's our duty.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. See you guys.
Thank you all.
in,
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
holidays. That. Love you.
Love you
Number
too.
one.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.